What is going on today, guys? Welcome back to an episode of WN, your source for the music production news. Got a bunch of new plugins today. What a surprise. Reason 13.1, some other music updates. For some context here, in the last WN video, I said I would throw a kickflip in the beginning of this video if we hit 1,000 likes on that video. We hit 900 something, and whatever, that's close enough. Press the like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you're new here. Let's aim for 800 likes this time. In our first story, we have a free plugin from ARTURIA named Augmented Mallets. And just like all of their other augmented plugins, it essentially blends synthesis with some sort of instrument, in this case, mallets. So it's called Augmented Mallets Play. So it combines a marimba, vibraphone, celeste with synthesis, and you get a bunch of sounds that blend between synthesis and all of those instruments. So this is a free gift from them for the holiday season, and you have until January 2nd, 2025 to get it. The link will be down in the description if you want to get it. This video is not sponsored by them, so if it sucks, I'm going to say it sucks. Usually this stuff is pretty decent at the very least though. It's 50 presets using 3 instruments, 19 processed and additional articulations, 11 natural and prepared articulations, 4 synthesis types, 2 sampler engines, and built-in FX. And just like in the typical augmented fashion, you can morph between the organic instrument and the complete synthesis sound. All right, let's hear how it sounds. So while that was good sounding, I don't really know what I was hearing there. Was I hearing 2 presets put together? Because I don't think you're going to be plucking with the mallets and then a chord is a part of the same patch. Maybe though. Here, let's watch the video. The best part, my favorite part. Oh boy. So this definitely sounds like future-based city right now. Sounds a bit dated. You can use this for whatever you want though.
G'day guys, it's Matt here from ARTURIA, and today we got something very special for you. I hope you've been good this year, because today, for free, we're introducing Augmented Mallets.
Why'd they zoom in on his face like that? I can do that too. Today we'll be checking out Augmented Mallets.
I'm gonna play through some presets, so let's check them out.
Cool chord progression. Okay.
Dreamy vibraphone. This one's Reflective Plateau.
I mean, so far it sounds great, but I'm like failing to hear the synthesis part of this. It all just sounds like mallets. I'm guessing more so the synthesis part is when you fade it to the synthesis part, and it's not really, so we're just mostly hearing mallets. I don't know. I mean, hey, not really complaining, just saying I'm not hearing what I'm expecting to hear, I guess. Which is fine. It's totally fine. It's free, okay? It's free. Okay, there we go. There's finally something where it sounds like oh, he's got some dirty fingernails. There's finally something where we got, you know, a blend between mallets and synthesis, it sounds like. At least one that's obvious. I don't know, maybe those other ones have it in there, but it's just not, it's not obvious. Overall, it's good, man. I mean, it's good for free. I'm not sure what it's going to cost once it comes out. Maybe $100, $50 if I had to guess. A play version means this is a light version, most likely. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it does seem like there's not a lot of presets, like 50, right? Now, all we need is an augmented bass and drum machine. I don't think you need that. I don't think you need that. It requires at least a 4-core CPU with 3.4 gigs. It seems like a lot for what this is. In our next story, we have another new plugin. This one is from MUSIK Hack, the same people who made Masterplan. Masterplan's a pretty good mastering plugin. This one is called Fuel, with a pretty cheap looking banner at the top there. I guess they could not find a higher resolution GIF of fire. It's only $59, where you can rent to own for $5 for 12 months. Which is like the brokest shit I've ever heard. Hey, they're really marketing it to musicians here. So essentially, it's a maximization and saturation toolkit. So this one seems a little more geared towards mixing than mastering. It has compression, OTT, soft clipping, a bass knob, and a thick knob. And they say it has the same unbeatable maximizer as Masterplan. From what I've heard, the Masterplan maximizer also has clipping in it. So maybe they're just isolating just the maximizer portion of it. This one has a low latency mode, so you can use it for live tracking and real-time performance. We have some quotes here that are pretty long. I feel like putting them as graphics was not the best idea here. Oh, I can't even read them in time. Okay. Whatever is happening on this thick knob is juicy, and I like it a lot. Some big sexual energy there. I knew that it would make my 808 shake, but I was shocked at what it did to my synths. The saturation is out of this world. All right, thank you for that, Nelly. So they claim it has crystal clear compression for everything. It's smooth and transparent. Let's be honest though, no compression is completely transparent. You know, that's the whole definition of compression. You know, it compresses it, and in order for it to compress it, it's gonna have to push it down. You know, the only way for it to really be somewhat transparent is for it to have a slow attack and a fast release. But at a certain point, it's not going to be doing much if you're doing that. It's got OTT and upward compression, which is a part of OTT. They claim you can beef up kicks and bass with the bass and thick knobs. And it's got that analog warmth. Ooh. You just dial it in, no guesswork needed. I mean, dialing it in is still some form of guesswork, but whatever. Like I said, it is $59 or rent to own for $5 for 12 months. So basically, anybody can get it. You can get it on allowance. You could be a child with an allowance and get this. In our next story, SZA has revealed her cover artwork for Lana, SOS Deluxe, premiering on Friday, December 20th. And before you say, okay, I don't give a shit about this. I don't either, but this is also kind of funny. Got a picture of her as an alien, probably have to cover up her breasts there. You can kind of see them a little bit. But the part that's really funny is duplicated grass. People are so against AI. We don't want AI, you know, use AI in your artwork. That's horrible. And then look what happens, okay? Now we got people duplicating fucking grass, and it's plainly obvious on the fucking cover art. Guys, I'm an alien. I'm not like you, okay? I'm not like the other girls. I'm an alien. Don't you see by the bug eyes and the alien antennas? In our next story, BEHRINGER has released their inspiration of the LMDRUM, named the LMDRUM. Shameless. Absolutely shameless. All right, let me stick my hand in here for the career at BEHRINGER Tribe. Let's go. Yeah. Who wants to copy? I do. So it is a classic hybrid sampling drum machine with 109 drum sounds, sample recording, 64-step sequencer, wave designer, and dual mode filter. You know, using this will give you a face where you look like you're constipated and pushing out a huge shit. Or it'll give you a serene, almost sleep-like face. I'm actually not even sure that this guy's awake. If you're looking for a drum machine that can recreate the classic sound of the 80s, look no further. I think we got enough 80s recreations, guys. I think you could stop making this kind of shit. We got enough stuff to recreate the 80s. We got enough people recreating the 80s. Let's stop it. No more 80s. So it has an authentic 8.5-bit sampling sound. What? Oh, okay. It has an authentic 8/12-bit sampling sound engine, and it captures the essence of 100 legendary 80s drum sounds, including those designed by Roger Lynn. Yeah, you know, the guy they're copying that they don't want to say they're copying here. It's not just a replica of the past, though, according to them, but a modern instrument that offers unparalleled warmth and flexibility. Okay? Right. It has analog circuitry, and it gives your drums a rich and organic character, according to them. Alright, let's watch the video. You know, it's pretty shameless how BEHRINGER will just copy every single fucking thing in the planet.
You know, there's just something incredibly inspiring about those magical sounds from a golden era of music.
Bro, how many times are they gonna do this with 80s sounds, dude? Every single demo from the 80s they play, I'm just like, this is corny. This is unbelievably corny. Stop it.
An era that...
Maybe that's really their demographic, though, you know? People who are probably in their 40s or 50s now, or they're like Gen Z people who think 80s shit is really cool. I don't know. I don't think Gen Z people think 80s shit is cool, though. I think it's more of like a 90s thing for them. I really don't know who their demographic is. I don't know.
Dreamt of the future, not knowing it was creating the timeless echoes of an iconic past. And here we are. 40 years on, where walls of exclusivity crumble to pieces, and the sounds that made history are within anyone's grasp. Introducing a rebirth of a legend.
What are you guys thinking of that 80s sound there? Really original stuff. Really good. Not corny in any way. They would be better off just demoing the drum machine and nothing else, because I don't want to hear all this 80s shit. Like, the snare sounds great. Everything else... Alright, I think that's enough of that. You know what? I never really do this on the main channel, but I think it's time. What the fuck? In our next story, Spotify says its streams of drum and bass are up 94% over the last 3 years. There's no joke there. That's just the news. That's just what's happening. In our next story, SSL's released another plugin. Oh my god. Does anybody else have like plugin burnout at this point? Just a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of overlap, a lot of things you don't really need, if I'm being honest. Alright, so next we got solid state logic with DIGICRUSH. Can you guess what it does? I'll do nothing if you guess what it does, because I feel like anybody can guess what it does who works in audio. So, I mean, just by looking at it, it downsamples. It's got some distortion or something. I'm guessing overload, that's why. $79.99 seems a bit expensive for what it is. So from vintage digital to lo-fi destruction. So they claim it delivers the gritty lo-fi character of classic digital distortion, perfectly emulating the degradation and artifacts of early digital audio. It kind of reminds me of that one plugin that no one really talks about anymore. What is it called? Oh, all of them. Basically all of them. Use overload to create a blown out speaker effect. That's what we want. We want to sound like our speakers are blown out. I guess sometimes that can be good for like a boom bap kick or something. Jitter, random variations in the sample rate. Bit depth, changing the bit depth. Not really much else to explain there. Anti-alias and anti-imaging filters. There's a free trial for 14 days. There's video. Let's peep it.
Look, I got carried away with the hip-hop drums, but seriously, this is, I'm having the best time. This is amazing.
You guys call those hip-hop drums? In our next story, Reason 13.1 is here, and I know like 4 of you are probably excited for that. So let me talk to the 4 of you that haven't clicked off of the video yet once you heard it was talking about Reason. So it's a free update to Reason, I would hope so. If you're charging for point updates, we've lost the plot. We've absolutely lost the plot if that's what's going to end up happening. It might at some point. I don't know, it might be hard to do that with FL Studio not charging for any sort of upgrades or updates though. They added new utility devices such as the gain tool, sidechain tool, stereo tool, note tool, random tool. The note tool is designed to help problems like adjusting the velocity curve or making up for shoddy keyboard. A shoddy keyboard. What? Or to make up for a shoddy keyboard? That's crazy, to make a device to fix your fucked up keyboard instead of just fixing your keyboard. I mean, I guess they're just presenting a use case here, but it's like an extremely niche one that involves you having a broken keyboard or quickly transposing all or some of the notes. I feel like you could just do this in the sequencer. Maybe for some notes it would be useful, but not all. The random tool, I'm just gonna assume it does random shit.
Reason 13 brought a whole new browser and several workflow improvements to the Reason music making experience. That doesn't mean Reason 13 is done delivering new features and improvements. Just like the music that we often make, then build upon further and find new parts to add down the road, Reason 13.1.
The thing I always thought was shitty about Reason, well maybe not always, but it's become shitty about Reason in recent years, is the thing that made it cool, the entire ability to reroute things and use the cables and like make some weird shit behind the scenes became more of a hindrance over the years as things became more and more focused on workflow. The idea of doing all this weird shit and not having great workflow just became an issue. Okay guys, that is it for this episode of Dummying In. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the like button. I feed my family with likes, so by not hitting the like button, you are starving them. That's fucked up. That's really fucked up you would do that. Subscribe if you're new here. Post videos like this every single day lately. Check out the second channel if you haven't. It'll be linked down in the description. There's more content there, also daily uploads. If you want to support the channel and what I do here, consider joining my Patreon or becoming a channel member. For as low as $5 a month, you get access to exclusive content, outtakes, lessons, mastering, and more. I'll see you guys next time.